Welcome to Conversations in the Closet. I am your host, Teresa Romer, and I have a special guest today, Maziar Mahoubi.
Hi, Teresa.
Did I say it right this time?
You kill me. Can you just drop my last name, please?
Okay, I'm just going to say Maz. Well, you couldn't have a name like Smith or Jones.
No, I couldn't. I couldn't because I was the chosen one.
So now I have to do my booby.
No, just say Maz.
Okay. I'm not even going to say your last name anymore.
I don't even know. No. I think you're just trying to pick on me today.
Of course. That's what I do best.
How's your day?
I'm busy, but it's all good. It's all good. And guess what today's topic is?
What is today's topic? Surprise me.
What makes a man tick?
That's one of those right in the text.
And it was so funny was because when I was getting ready to gather up my information on this, right? I looked at my husband and I said, honey, what makes a man tick? And he said, sex.
Well, do you mean it in a good way or do you mean it in a bad way? Because
no, I just looked at my husband though and I go, no, seriously, what makes a man tick? And he said, sex. And I said, really? And he goes, that's all we think with. He said, that is what makes a man happy. If a man's sexually satisfied, he is like on top of the world all the time. And I said, really, that's all that makes you happy? And he goes, well, we like to be known for, we like to have attention. We like our significant others or our spouses or whatever to, make us feel important, but sex, just sex.
I don't know.
Now, granted, this is coming from a man that's 71 years old.
Well, maybe that's how he thought his whole life. We need to sit him down and talk to him.
I'm just saying, I'm not asking a 25-year-old a question. I'm asking a 71-year-old. And I mean, so I'm asking you as a man.
Right.
Now, okay, so you can either look at it one way or two ways. You can look at it like a man that's been married for 20 years, like you have been practically, or you can just look at it like a man, like if you were just a man.
Okay.
Would sex run your life? Like is that what really makes you happy or what?
No.
So you could go without sex?
No.
Because I'm just saying, I have a neighbor, I'm not saying names, but they haven't had sex for 7 years.
Now that right there is
oh, wait a minute. She hasn't had sex for 7 years. I think he's had plenty of sex, but she doesn't want it.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
How can that happen?
He's had sex and she hasn't.
Yeah.
Well, sex doesn't run my world. Because I'm a little bit different. It's very important for me, but this. I talk to you about this in every one of my podcasts. I throw my mama in here, and I don't care what people want to say. I'm a mama's boy. I have been spoiled by my mother emotionally. So sex is not the whole world for me with a woman. A woman needs to give me attention.
Right.
Give me attention, spend time with me, play with my hair, talk to me about my stressful day. Just say something nice to me. No, I'm serious. Believe it or not, Teresa, the world is so stressful. Life is so stressful.
So the next time I'm with you, I just have to play with your hair and you'll be happy?
Teresa, I will be extremely happy.
No matter what I've done wrong in my professional life with you, if I just play with your hair, you'll be happy.
Just play with absolutely. Absolutely.
And you'll forgive me for all of my mess ups, right?
I will forgive you. I don't think for me sex is not it is not the most important thing to me. Let me just say that. I think that a lot of guys, they don't care. They'll just do it physically. I'm this weird person. I have to be mentally there in order to do it.
So
otherwise I can't enjoy it.
So you're more like a woman.
I'm more like a woman. Maybe it's because I was raised by a woman.
Right. So, like we have discussed in previous podcasts, women have to mentally be there to enjoy sex. I mean, like they have to mentally be in the game. Otherwise, to them, it's not worth it because
Well,
it's
basically, yeah, a woman can't treat a man like shit and then just dress up in a lingerie and say, have sex with me. Like, a lot of guys are okay with that. I'm not.
But that's what men do. I mean, like a man can be yelling at you 1 minute and then expect you to be in bed the next minute.
Yeah, I can't do
And
that.
a woman sits there and goes, "Wait a minute, we were just arguing. I'm so mad at you. I can't even see straight, and yet you want me to get in bed and make love to you. Are you
But
freaking kidding me?"
that's makeup sex.
But it's makeup sex to the man, but
Right.
the woman has to really get it right in her mind
Of course.
before she can let it go, before she can have sex. Because as long as she's got it in her head and it's bouncing around and she hasn't resolved the fight, there is no way in hell that woman's going to have sex.
Oh, I totally agree with you on that. Absolutely.
But a man will get mad if you don't.
Well, then again, you should drop his ass.
No,
I've been raised by a single
so
mother, so I've been taught to respect women.
so I have
I think,
Yeah. So I have a little story here. So, everyone, a lot of my fans and viewers and everybody knows that I lost my 19-year-old son in a car accident. And during the period of time where we were having his funeral and everything, we were, of course, checked into a hotel. My husband wanted to have sex that night after we had arrived and seen my son at the funeral home and all that kind of stuff. And I said, I can't. I've just lost my one and only son. I'm a mess. And he just kept bothering me and bothering me and bothering me. And I finally gave in to him and just had sex. I think I was numb when I had it. I don't know. But I finally gave in and I just had sex just to make him happy. And to this day, I hold it against him because he made me do something that I didn't want to do because I was so distraught. But in his defense, he said, the reason he wanted to make love to me was because he felt so horrible for me because I was in so much pain. He thought if he could just wrap his arms around me and make love to me, he could take the pain away.
I get that.
So isn't that weird? I mean, like, I can see his point where he couldn't fix the problem. Like, he couldn't bring my son back. He couldn't fix the problem. And he felt like the only way he could help take away the pain was just to make love to me and hold me and caress me and make my world better. And yet I was so pissed off at him because I was like, are you kidding me? I've just lost my child and all you can think about is sex.
Right.
So, which side do you take there in that story?
I can see what what he was trying to get at because he didn't know better at that time.
Well, and because men are fixers. Men, if a woman is in pain or if a woman is hurting or if a woman is in trouble or whatever, or if she's got a problem, men always want to fix things. And sometimes women are just like, hey, I don't want you to fix it. I just want you to know about it.
Right.
We don't expect you guys to fix everything.
Oh, absolutely.
And just like that, he couldn't fix it. There was no fixing that, But isn't it funny? To this day, I still hold on to that time of, gosh, remember that time you made me have sex with you? I mean, I still hold on to that. It's terrible. And yet he just was like, I'm sorry, baby, but I didn't mean it in a bad way. I just was trying to
distract you.
Ease your, exactly.
Right. That's happened before. I can't lie and say it's never happened with me. I've done that before. I think I did that when my wife's father passed away. But I was much younger, and Lamar was. I was much younger. I thought I was distracting her too, but the feeling was mutual. I thought getting her mind off of it and getting her body relaxed would kind of help her deal with the situation better. I guess I was wrong because later on she told me, she's like, hey, you know what? I can't believe you did that. So I'm kind of in that same situation as well. I think that I guess it depends. Some women do need it at that time, that emotional and physical contact with the man, and some don't. So I guess everybody varies in that topic.
Well, and once again, it goes back to the thing where I'm like low maintenance, like maybe a high maintenance woman would have needed a man to hold her and make love to her, and maybe she needed that kind of attention when she was going through that kind of stuff. Me, once again, I wanted to shove everybody away. I was like, just leave me alone. My world is crashed. I can't deal with this. So I don't know. Like I said, everyone's different.
Right. So what do you think a man needs? What do you think?
Oh, I totally believe a man thinks with his dick. I do. I do. I mean, like every man I've ever been with, and God knows there's been plenty. Don't make me name them all off. But I have never been with a man that does not think with his dick. Like every man I've ever been with has wanted sex like 24/7. Why? Is it my fault?
I don't think so. I think many men function like that.
Well, the excuse they always give me, well, you just look so good. I just want you all the time.
Well, Teresa, that may also be a thing. Many men just see the outer appearance. They don't realize what's going on the inside. They don't realize the person is under stress. They don't realize the person is seeking something else other than physical contact. That does happen, of course. But I don't know. It's weird. I used to think like that when I was in my late teens. That's all you think about is sex.
Well, of course, every guy in their late teens does. But God, I mean, like my husband's 71, and he's always like, but you just, you make me horny. You just always look
Well,
so
you know
good.
what they say? They say when you get older, you go back to your childhood. So
What,
maybe
by wearing diapers when they're old or what?
no. Well, maybe Lamar's in his early teens now.
Lamar has always been this way, I think. I mean, like,
Well, hey, that's beautiful. I remember I told you once. I said, "Can you get a little bit of his blood and just inject it in me because I need some of that. I need some of that."
I mean, if Lamar doesn't get sex at least, I'm talking at least a minimum of 3 times a week, we have a problem in our household.
Well, I think that's reasonable.
I said a minimum. I said a minimum. I'm talking like he wants it like every day. But if we can barely have a minimum of 3, that's good. And then he has made it mandatory that every Sunday is blowjob Sunday.
Yes, and I believe somehow the mayor of Houston will acknowledge that day and give you guys an award for we're making Houston blowjob Sundays.
I know, but I mean, like I said, who the hell came up with this? And he goes, it's tradition. We can't break tradition. And I said, who the hell made it tradition? I didn't. And he's like, it's just tradition. We can't break it. So somewhere, and I don't know how this has happened, but somewhere in my life with my man, he has decided that he's created a tradition that I became unaware of, and now I'm aware of. But I mean, like, it's mandatory. And if he doesn't get it, I'm telling you, he pouts like a little 5-year-old. And then he'll tell me later that night, well, can I get it tonight since you didn't give it to me this morning? And I'm like, no. And then if that doesn't happen on Monday, he's like, well, I didn't get it yesterday. I mean, like, he will like, I'm just like, God, did you just think with your
good negotiator.
Good God. And he will guilt you into doing it because he will make you feel so guilty that you just don't love me anymore and you don't find me attractive. And I'm like, oh, for God's sakes, get over here. Good Lord.
Well, then he's a brilliant negotiator. Because I can't get my way when I seek it. I'll just be sent to my room. Let me say my room is considered our bedroom. So since the baby has come, she spends most of the time in the baby's room. So I'm a bachelor right now, Teresa.
Wow.
I'm an eligible bachelor with a ring on my finger.
Well, remember in previous podcasts we've said, happy wife, happy life.
Absolutely.
Well, they've always said that there's 2 ways to a man's heart: his stomach or his dick.
Right. Man, I love it when she feeds me. Listen, my top 5, this is what I need as a man that works close to 16, 17 hours a day. this is what I consider. I will give you the world. This is what I need. I need you to feed me right. I need you to take care of me emotionally. Be my best friend. Give me my me time when I need it. If I want to go in a corner and I want to read a book, or I want to do some I don't know, I want to go and race my car. I want to go do my hobby. Give me my me time. And number 5 is exist for me. Don't let me feel like I'm a ghost.
Right.
Exist, make me feel that I exist.
God, you're high maintenance.
Well, that's how I am. That's how I am. I mean, sex is somewhere in the middle, but this is how I am. I'm the only child.
Right.
So I come from being the only child and being from a divorced family. So I was raised by my mother, who just cherished me left and right. She thought that I walk around with a golden dick.
Right. Right.
And we do have that word in Farsi. It's called doodle tala. So that's what Mike says on Shaw's and Sunset all the time. Even his mom calls him doodle tala. So all of us Persian guys, our mothers call us doodle tala. So we all have golden dicks.
Wow. And see, I came from a broken family, many different moms, many different dads. I pretty much came up in this world as a loner. Like I just always felt like I was in the wrong family or something. I don't know, but I've even my daughter says, "Mom, I don't know how you do it. You're so alone all the time and you're happy. Like you don't need brothers and sisters, you don't need moms and dads, you don't need you don't need girlfriends. Like you're just so cool on your own." And my daughter's like totally not like that. She needs so much family around her. She needs so much family intervention with her. She just doesn't get it. She's like, "Mom, you're from the outside looking in, I think you're a lonely person, but yet I know you and you're not lonely at all. Like you are the happiest person in this world."
Right.
And so maybe that's why I'm so low maintenance, is because I've just taken care of myself forever and ever and ever. And I've realized that to get anywhere in life, I have to do it myself. I don't get any help. So I don't know. Maybe that's what makes me so low maintenance, is that I just, maybe it's our upbringings or whatever, but I don't know. It's always funny because I remember reading the book called Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus.
Right.
And I so agreed with the book because we are so differently. But, all I need in life is for someone just to support me. And I don't mean financially. I just mean support me. Like say, yes, I believe in what you're doing. Good for you. Rock on. And that's all I ever really need.
That's not much, but it still is in a way. We all have our needs. We all have our different ways of wanting things and seeking that attention that we need. I was raised by a single mother, and I was
Right.
alone a lot. So, as my mom was a doctor. She was
Right.
constantly at her clinic. I was alone a lot. So I learned to grow up a little bit faster than the other kids mentally. Right. But also the thing is, when you're alone, like you said you are, I kind of agree with you on that. I can remember that other kids were not able to process that time of being alone, but I could do it easily, just like you did.
Right.
And I'm the same right now. I don't need friends to make me happy. I don't need people to make me happy. I don't need anything to make me. I can make myself happy.
Right. Right. Exactly.
I'll go in a corner and I'll smoke my pipe. I'll my cigars and have a nice cognac, and I will enjoy myself more than I could probably with 20 different friends.
Right.
And I can go do things that keep myself busy as a man. I don't need a woman to make me happy.
Right. Right.
But when you are in a relationship, and especially when you're married, I think it's very important to do that.
But it was funny when I first started dating my husband. We were dating, and I said, "So what makes you happier? A full belly, a meal on the table every night, or nonstop sex?" And he goes, "That's what restaurants were made for."
Basically, nonstop sex.
because when I met my husband, he was, in his late 50s and he was dating 21-year-olds, and so I kind of realized then that, oh, okay, here we go, midlife crisis guy or something, and I thought, maybe he would grow out of it or whatever, but no, he's going strong. I mean, like, so, he basically said that's what restaurants were created for, was for us to eat. Sex is more important than a meal on the table, so we can always go to a restaurant. So I said, okay, you can't have both, but I'll give you one or the other. And he decided that nonstop sex. So I mean, like, he's never stepped away from that. He's like, it's going still stronger than ever. And I'm like, well, you're getting older, isn't it supposed to like slow down a little bit? And he's like, no.
You're feeding the beast.
No, now you know what he says? Now he says, yeah, but you never know when's the last time. Like, I could die tomorrow. I'm getting older.
Oh, so now it's that guilt trip. So
so now it's
more.
Yeah, so now it's the guilt trip of, oh, I'm getting older. I could die any day. So this might be the last time we ever have it, Teresa. And I'm like, oh, for God's sakes. But then again, I've always been a woman that has totally enjoyed sex. So, I'm really not complaining. But anyways, that's why I wanted the topic to be about what makes a man tick. And it was so funny because the minute I said that to my husband, what makes a man tick, he's like, sex. I was like, of course, in your world it is. Of course.
Probably, yeah. A lot of guys are like that. A lot.
Yeah. So,
but also remember, not everyone thinks the same, just like in women. So
true. But then, I think if I was a guy, say I wasn't with my husband anymore, say I was with another guy or whatever, and maybe that guy like never gave me sex. Maybe he was happy only getting it once or twice a month. I think I would probably freak out and think, what the hell's wrong with me? Like, why don't you want me more? I work out, I take care of myself, I try to have the body of a 35-year-old, and why don't you want to have sex with me all the time? For God's sakes, what's wrong? I'm sure that would be what would happen.
Yeah. But also remember, what you and Lamar have is probably, the being each other's, good friend, but also the sexual, physical relationship that you have is probably also what keeps your marriage so alive.
Could be. So I guess the takeaway here is, keep your man happy. whether it's daily sex or once in a while sex, or whether it's just nonstop attention, or, the subjects of what you called off, whether it's just having homemade meals on the table and somebody running their fingers through your hair, so.
Well, I mean, homemade meal is not what I wanted. Just take me out to dinner. Give me a date night. Give me some time. You don't have to cook for me, but just feed me. Like,
okay, Maz, I've been with you plenty of times. If you're working the kind of hours every day that you have when you're with me, when is there time to take you out to dinner?
Friday nights.
Oh.
Saturday nights.
Oh.
Sundays, I remember going back to work because, see, Teresa, I can't be off more than a day and a half.
Right.
If I'm off more than a day and a half, I'll go crazy. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So on Sundays, I have to get back to work.
Yeah.
So you have to make me happy. And if my wife is listening, because I know she's one of your biggest fans, you have to take me out on a Friday or a Saturday night. If you really, really want to make me very happy, take me out both nights.
Well, why don't you just make that mandatory?
We're doing that. See, when babies come, they distract you.
No, you get a babysitter.
Still, when you're a mother, you're in the middle of something. What's the baby doing at home? This, that, that.
No, you get a babysitter and say, you know what, honey, for the next 3 hours, you're all mine.
I need to start doing that, Teresa Romer.
You do. You have to take charge.
I need to start doing that.
You do.
You need to motivate me to get that back in check.
I'm just saying, just like my husband made it mandatory, blowjob Sundays, it's tradition, it's mandatory. Well, I don't let him down because that's what he looks forward to, so put your foot down, make some rules and say, you know what, every Friday night or every Saturday night or both nights, whatever, we're getting a babysitter, start off just with one night, and just say every Friday night we're getting a babysitter, and these 3 or 4 hours are dedicated to us and us only. We're not going to think about the kids. The kids are in good hands. Let's just be in love again.
Oh, sounds sexy.
Watch out. So with that said, another fabulous podcast. I love these topics. I just could talk about them all day and all night. And so anyways, with that said, I hope you all get out there and find me everywhere on social media. Sign up for this YouTube channel. subscribe to my other YouTube channel also, Teresa Romer. Find me everywhere out there on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, you name it, I'm everywhere. So, oh, and even Snapchat. I mean, like, I'm on Pinterest. I mean, good God, the list goes on and on. So with that said, Moz, thanks again for being a great host, and we will
Thank
see
you for
all
having me,
next week.
Teresa.
Yes, everybody have a good weekend.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.